bike vets get underway. It's a duel to the first corner between Martin Cockaine and Mark Evans, and Cockaine round the outside into the second corner they go. And the vets charging up towards Christmas corner for the first time with Martin Cockaine, number 33, your race leader. Evans has a look down the inside, but it's not going to be enough. It's like John Robinson in there as well as they make their way down the hill. Cockaine leads, Evans in second, and Robinson just on his tail in third place. Great start to pit bike vets, and they make their way round the final corner. Leading the way, got the jump at the start, Martin Cockaine, Mark Evans in second. John Robinson in third, Mark Davis in there as well, just behind him as they go through the first few corners. Running up towards Christmas corner now, and down the inside goes Mark Evans. And gets past Cockaine under braking into Christmas corner, and there we see just how steep that Christmas corner, third corner on the track is. The riders can really leave their braking late into that top corner, and there we see Evans taking the lead from Martin Cockaine. John Robinson still there in third place. Mark Davis fourth, up to fifth place now, number 66, the machine of Leslie Noble, who started in 10th. So Noble really starting to pick his way through the field. Number 172 in there as well. That's the machine of Simon Gates. He's up to sixth place. Leaders now making their way through towards the final corner. And Evans trying to pull away a bit now from Martin Cockaine. 0.3 of a second covering the first two riders. John Robinson. Davis still there in fourth place. They make their way up towards Christmas corner. And Evans just maintaining that gap at the front. Martin Cockaine still shadowing in second place. John Robinson a little bit further behind in third position, just behind there, number 9, Mark Davis. They make their way into the centre of the circuit now, only 1.4 seconds covering the top four last time round. And this pit bike vets race is still wide open as Evans makes his way up towards the final few corners now. Martin Cockaine starting to close up now in second place. They come through towards the final corner, and the pressure really on at the front as Evans comes round the final corner. Martin Cockaine goes round the outside, but not quite close enough to go for the lead. But he's got the run into the second corner, and now it's going to be close into Christmas corner. Martin Cockaine going to try the inside line, but it looks like Evans has just about done enough to hold him off going into the top corner. So Martin Cockaine holding on to the lead. John Robinson just a little bit further behind in third place. Mark Davis, Simon Gates, Leslie Noble, Richard Rice, Dan Hayes, Barry Prue and Chris Blofield rounding up the top 10. At the front though, it's getting close now as Martin Cockaine really starts to put the pressure on Mark Evans coming in towards the final corner. And let's see what Cockaine can do this time. Again, he goes round the outside. They cross the line. And they go through the second corner. Martin Cockaine trying to line up Mark Evans for a pass going into Christmas corner. Here they go, up the hill. Cockaine again has a look down the inside, but not quite enough as Mark Evans has the line and shuts the door. Leads the race by 0.2 of a second. John Robinson starting to drop behind a bit now in third place, 1.6 seconds down. And there he goes in third place. Robinson still with Mark Davis on his tail in fourth place. Then there's a gap between fourth and fifth with 172, the machine of Simon Gates, still there in fifth place. A bit further behind we have Leslie Noble, Richard Rice, Barry Prue moves into 8th place, number treble 7, Dan Hayes, Chris Blofield rounding out the top 10. Here they come round the final corner. There are two race leaders still as close as ever. And Mark Evans coming under a lot of pressure at the half distance mark with Martin Cockaine again trying just to find an opening. He's going to again try and close up under braking into Christmas corner, but he knew that that line wasn't on. And Mark Evans holds on to the lead as they make their way back down the hill. Martin Cochrane still on his tail. Then we see John Robinson and Mark Davis just a little bit further behind. Mark Evans, though, took pole position, lost the lead early on. And once again, Leeds were coming under a lot of pressure, and they are starting to close up on the tail enders. Here they come into the final few corners. 30 riders in this race, of course. We have 4 laps to go at the end of this one, so with the back markers in there as well, this could throw another complexion into the race, and they really are starting to reel in those back markers. You see the slow rider going through up to Christmas corner. Evans down the inside of the tail ender. Cochrane in there as well in second place, but not able to take advantage. Evans holds on to the lead, and they are starting to close up on more tail enders down the hill. Evans going around the outside, Cochrane in there as well. They're scything their way through the back markers. 4 laps to go in this race, including the lap they are on now. Starting to close up on Mark Hancock now, number 26. There goes Evans down the inside into the chicane. Oh, but a moment there. Martin Cochrane couldn't get through and pulls away slightly. So Evans with that jump. Cochrane still in second place. Shakes his head as he crosses the line. He's not too happy with the back markers. But it has to be said, that's racing, unfortunately. It's bad luck sometimes. You just get caught behind the tail ender on the worst part of the track, and that's chicane just going into the final corner. He got stuck behind Mark Hancock, who had nowhere to go and really held up Cochrane in second place, which is just bad luck, really. John Robson still there in third place, and there's some interesting battle here in the midfield, making their way up towards the final few corners. 4 riders scrapping away as they come through. See, there's Darren Savage, then Simon Woodward, Andy Williams, Steve Allen. All very close indeed, just outside of the top 10. Mark Evans now well and truly nestled in the back markers, and this could be the advantage that Martin Cochrane needs. If Evans has any problems, he's bulked slightly on the final corner. Now gets an opening. Cochrane on his tail in second place. Goes round the outside of Carter in the second corner. Oh, he had to be committed there in that second corner. Martin Cochrane going round the outside of Gary Carter as they make their way up towards the top corner. And now with 2 laps to go, the battle's on in this race, because Martin Cochrane has started to close up again on Mark Evans. They're clear of the tail enders. Down the hill they go. And just looking a bit further down the track from the 2 race leaders, they've got a relatively clean track in front of them. 1.5 laps to go. The leader's now in the centre of the course. And Mark Evans holds on to the lead. Martin Cochrane still there in second place. Not much in it. And we can see Mark Evans' supporters down here by the finish line looking on nervously, with Martin Cochrane's supporters right next to him, urging their respective riders on. 1 lap to go in the pit bike vets, and it's still as close as ever. 1.3 seconds covering the first 2 riders. They go through the second corner up towards Christmas. Still John Robinson from Mark Davis in 4th place. Simon Gates goes through in 5th, with Leslie Noble in 6th. Barry Prue coming under some pressure in 7th place. Very, very close indeed, with Dan Hayes also in the mix as well. But 1 lap to go for number 161, Mark Evans. Really has come under a lot of pressure from Martin Cochrane for the entire race, but he's counting down the corners. Martin Cochrane, though, in 2nd place, not giving up, and he's starting to close up with just a few more corners to go. Evans just got to keep his nerve now as he comes round the final corner. Martin Cochrane right on his tail in 2nd place. The checkered flag is now being readied. And Mark Evans takes the checkered flag, chased over the line by Martin Cochrane. Incredibly close battle in that pit bike vets race. John Robinson fights his way through, starting to close up on the leaders in those last few stages. He takes 3rd position from Mark Davis. Simon Gates in 5th place. Richard Rice just about nips past Leslie Noble, with Barry Prue crossing the line in 8th place. Dan Hayes in 9th. And Richard Barnes, number 8, rounding out the top 10. The last few riders making their way onto the grid, and this first pit bike best race was a really close duel between Mark Evans And the fast starting Martin Cockayne second on the grid. What we see this time round as the flag drops and away they go. Everyone gets off the grid cleanly, charging into the first corner. Martin Cockayne gets the jump once again and takes the lead, but Mark Evans goes down the inside into Christmas corner. They're all through the second corner cleanly. Who's it going to be that takes the lead? Mark Evans retakes the lead into the top corner. Cockayne in second place. They all pile through the top corners. Down the hill they come. Mark Evans leads. Cockayne has a look down the inside. It looks like John Robinson, I think, has gone through to third place. And here come the leaders. Mark Evans leads the way, all very close at the start of the pit bike Vets race. Cockayne has a look down the inside as John Robinson starts to close up in third. Here they come, up towards the final corner. Mark Evans leads the way, round the final corner. Martin Cockayne right on his tail, with John Robinson charging through in third. Fourth position, number 6, our machine of, well, number 9, sorry, Mark Davis up to fourth place. James Osborne, Richard Rice, Dan Hayes, Leslie Noble, Barry Prue, Simon Gates, Richard Barnes, all getting away well. Most of the big names in the pit by Vets with a good start. Here they come down the hill, and Mark Evans leads the way with a whole train of riders behind him. Martin Cockayne still in second place. John Robinson, Mark Davis, James Osborne, all in there. 5 riders covered by less than 2 seconds. 9 laps to go in this race, still a long way to go, and Mark Evans coming under a lot of pressure from Martin Cockayne, who is all over the rear wheel. Here they come, up towards the final corner, and Evans holding on to the lead. They make their way down into the final corner now, crossing the line. Evans leads, Cockayne second place, getting close for third as number 70, James Osborne, right round the outside, almost clipping the tyre barriers. He's using all of the track on that final corner as he tries to close up on the leading pack. Mark Evans now starting to break away slightly from Martin Cockayne and the rest of the field. Cockayne still catching up with him, but Mark Davis falling behind a bit now in third place. Here they come back down the hill, and the battle now on for third place. This is going to help the leaders pull away slightly if they still change positions like this. Martin Cockayne now really trying to put the leader under some pressure as they make their way up towards the final few corners. Cockayne has a look down the inside, but Evans shuts the door. Mark Evans leads the way up towards the final corner. Round they go, and as you can see, the top 2 breaking away slightly and still as close as ever for third place. Nothing at all in it for third. 46 just a little bit further behind there, so that's Mark Davis, James Osborne, Richard Rice goes through. Then we got Dan Hayes, Leslie Noble, Barry Prue moving up through the hill, up to 8th place. Simon Gates, Richard Barnes running out the top 10. Here they come, back down the hill from Christmas corner, and look out for 3rd and 4th place. They're starting to close upon the leaders. Mark Evans beginning to hold up Martin Cockayne a bit, you would think, and that is allowing third place to close up. Down the back straight they go. Mark Evans trying to pull away, guards the inside line from Martin Cockayne in towards the penultimate few corners. 3rd and 4th place, John Robinson and Mark Davis starting to close up now. This race getting very close to the approach half distance. But Mark Evans holds on to the lead. Martin Cockayne all over the rear wheel, trying to find a way through, but Mark Evans doing a great job of defending the lead. As 3rd and 4th place start to close up, Cockayne has a look down the inside into Christmas corner, but Evans again shuts the door. That allows 3rd and 4th place to close up yet more. That's John Robinson and Mark Davis there closing up on the leaders as again Martin Cockayne has a look down the inside. Oh, we just almost lost Mark Davis there. The front wheel washed out on him slightly. Loses a little bit of ground, but still very much in contention. But look out for 3rd place, starting to close up on Martin Cockayne now. Here they come, back towards us. So it looks like John Robinson really starting to put the pressure on Martin Cockayne. Here they come, up towards the final corner. Mark Evans still leads the way. Martin Cockayne in 2nd, but look out for John Robinson in 3rd place. Robinson now all over the rear wheel with Mark Davis just a little bit further behind in 4th place. Richard Wright, James Osborne going through. They make their way up towards Christmas corner. Again, Martin Cochrane looks down the inside. John Robinson had a little peek on the inside there as well, but wasn't really going to be on that one. The leaders coming back down the hill. They are starting to close up on back markers though. And now Mark Davis back in the reckoning. Look out for 5th and 6th place though. Richard Wright and James Osborne. They're all closing up on the leader. Here they come past the back marker. Oh, it's going to shuffle things up somewhat, we would think, but they pick their way through the slower riders. Oh, and a big crash there. One or two of the tail enders tripping over. So 2 riders go down. I think they're okay, but walking wounded, you might say. The red flag has been shown. The red flag, the race has been stopped. Big crash there with the leaders shuffling their way through the tail enders. The riders back on their feet and very sporty, making sure they're all okay. Nothing much can be done there, just a racing incident. Goes up 5-lap dash to the finish for Pit Bike Vets. And away they go with Evans getting the jump into the first corner. So Mark Evans gets away at the front. Martin Cochrane in 2nd place. John Robinson, Mark Davis all getting away well into Christmas corner. And oh, down the inside. Great move there from, I think that may have been Mark Davis or possibly John Robinson. We'll confirm that in a moment as they come back down the hill. I think that was John Robinson diving down the inside of Martin Cochrane into 2nd place out of nowhere into Christmas corner. Here they come back towards us. And Mark Evans holds on to the lead, but this time he has got a new challenger as they make their way back towards us. 5-lap dash to the finish. Of course, the race was halted due to an accident, but everyone's seemingly okay. And we'll get the race back underway with Mark Evans, who has led pretty much the entire thing, but coming under a lot of pressure. Oh, look at this battle here. There's a 3rd place go charging through. Nightmare for Martin Cochrane, who drops to 5th place, so not having a good start to this rerun of the last 5 laps. The vets now making their way up towards the top of the hill with Mark Evans going through Christmas corner, leading the way. Martin Cochrane dropping now down to 5th place. John Robinson, though, the new challenger. So let's see what Mark Evans can do. He's ran so strongly for the entire race, and sometimes when a race is stopped, it's a case of having to recharge, not say recharge the batteries, but mentally stay strong, because you've got to go out and effectively do it all again, only this time, of course, with some less laps in the race, so less margin for error. But Mark Evans has really responded well. Robinson coming through in 2nd place. Looks like 46 now going into 3rd position, and a great ride of him so far, fighting through the field. So now looks like we are going through very shortly. It says the last lap on the timing screen. I think I've got another lap to go after that. We'll confirm that in a moment as they come back down towards us. We should be seeing the last lap board very shortly. Don't forget, of course, the riders have had the sighting lap. Richard Rice, though, number 46, he's been steadily picking his way through the field. Look out for Simon Gates as well, number 172, who's moved through to 6th place. Starting to close up on the leading group, but Mark Evans, he'll be pleased with this one so far. Starting to pull away now from John Robinson in 2nd place, who looked to be challenging him before. The last lap board now goes out. Here we go. So Mark Evans goes into the final lap. Robinson in 2nd. Look out, though, for number 46. Oh, we got problems here. One of our front runners, 2 of the front running riders going down. Let's just confirm who they are. They seem okay. They'll get back into the race. No need for halting things, I would think. And look at this, though, it's number 66. That's the machine of Leslie Noble battling away. Looks like Simon Gates in there as well, but it's a great ride so far for Richard Rice, number 46. In 5 laps, he's been slowly but surely picking his way through the field. He may have just run out of time, but he is starting to close up on Mark Evans. Just to note, if you're waiting for the stock 140s, just Jack Dolby. A little bit later on, we've got the Pit Bike Vets drawing to a close now. We've got Honda CRF 150s and Junior SM 140s coming up next. The last lap now of the Pit Bike Vets getting underway with Mark Evans taking the checkered flag. A well-deserved race victory, one would say. Richard Rice, really good ride from him in the final few laps, chasing him home in 2nd place. Mark Davis in 3rd. Leslie Noble, Simon Gates. And then good ride there as well from Barry Prue, Richard Barnes fighting their way through the field, but a nightmare for Martin Cockaine. One of the riders caught up in the tangle a couple of laps ago, so his race falling apart, you would say, and he'll be disappointed with that one.
And we're here with John Robertson, one of the guys races in our veteran stock class. Tell us a little bit about your background, John. How did you get into bike racing?
My son, he bought a pit bike for some unknown reason, and was going to do a bit of motocross on it, and he bought the frame and all the bits and pieces, and he built it, but then decided to go into pit bike supermoto instead. So I helped him build it, so that just got me into it, and I bought one, and that was it.
You've taken to like duck to water, haven't you? I remember watching you last season. Obviously, you were catching up with me, and you just like started going past me, and I can't catch you.
Yes, I'd done motocross for about 7 years when I was in my early 20s, and but I ain't been on a bike for how long? 25 years now for the first time. Yeah, last year was the first time. So
You enjoying it?
yeah, it's brilliant. Yeah,
You have some good battles with Mark Evans, don't you?
every meeting with Mark Evans. Yeah, Garrett.
And we're going to bring in Darren Savage, one of our riders from Miniature Parts. Darren races in the Veterans Open class. Obviously, John's on a stock bike, which is 140cc. Tell us a little bit about your bike.
So I think the difference is because we run the stock class, which is anything up to 160, which John runs in, but I think ours is up to 202, isn't it? So I've got a bit of a chance. I mean, I think it gives, like with John sort of being quite light, it gives the bigger lads a chance to sort of be able to keep the pace up a little bit more, like using a bit more of a powerful engine. But yes, it's certainly a good class. It's it's really good. I'm really enjoying it. It's my first year in the open class, so I mean I run in the vet sort of the back end of last season, and it's my first year sort of doing a full season in the open class. So yeah, we'll see how we go.
Yeah. So your results today, you're about, was it third or fourth today?
Yeah, I think so. I think we've got third or fourth overall today. I'm not quite sure after racing 'cause it's quite hectic when you get off the bike. But yeah, we've been doing well. I think I've only sort of raced my whole entire life sort of last year. As you know, my first round in the British mini bikes, my first season. So it's only my second season. I've had 2/3 overall in my class already. So picking up some silverware this season. So yeah, it's good, man. It's good. I can't grumble.
Miniature Parts, a couple of seconds. Miniature Parts are one of our sponsors. Just very, very briefly tell about Miniature Parts.
So we're a sort of mini bike, pit bike specialist. We sort of work out of Bristol. And we decided to support, after me racing last year, we sort of decided to come along and support the championship this year and bring the younger riders along. And we also do hire bike days as well. So yeah, we sort of Miniature Parts.